The H1B Guy here, and today, the H1B Guy news for the week ending May 17th, 2024. Today I'll cover USCIS curbs H1B lottery fraud and adjustment of status data released. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube and like this video so that I can continue to produce more content like this for you. I also wanted to mention that H1B Guy offers a variety of consulting services. I help businesses and individuals solve complex work authorization issues in the recruitment process while bringing awareness to employment based immigration benefits. If I can help you, please reach out. I'd love to hear how. And you can book an appointment directly with me via the h1bguy.com. Today's news is brought to you by Syndesis, the ideal plan B for high skilled immigrants currently located in the U.S. whose status may be uncertain. By PERM-Ads.com, the industry leader in providing a seamless experience for employers and immigration attorneys navigating the complex PERM recruitment ad phase of the labor certification process. And by Mob Squad. Are you a technology professional facing U.S. work visa related challenges? Don't leave your fate up to chance. Our partner Mob Squad has the solution. Join the squad. Now, the news. Well, I'd like to thank everyone who checked out the H1B Guy Live on May 10th, 2024, where we navigated Canada's immigration system with Sona Norzai, with Envoy Global, and Rachel Mitchell from Mob Squad. Please give that a watch or a listen if you haven't already. It was a fantastic conversation, and I learned a few new things. I also wanted to mention I recently privileged to sit down with my good friend and former colleague, Casey Jacob, as a guest on the Dadcast Season 5. Casey played an instrumental role in his career and later on through his book, Win the Relationship, Not the Deal, which is a fabric of our culture at Tier 4 Group. During our conversation, Casey and I explored the challenges and emotions we face as fathers in our modern society, focusing on the importance of open communication, humility, leading by example, and exploring how we deal with life's surprises. If you're interested in a behind the scenes look into my upbringing and personal life, please give it a listen. I'll share the link in the video description below. Make sure you subscribe to the Quarterback Dadcast and follow Casey on LinkedIn. On April 30th, 2024, Ethan Barron, in a post on the Mercury News titled H1B Visa, Feds Believe They Fixed Loophole That for Massive Fraud. Fraudsters exploiting a change in the application process for the controversial H1B visa largely been shut down by a new rule federal authorities believe. The kind of typical would be a small number of employees forming dozens or more paper companies and registering, if not hundreds, if not thousands of workers repeatedly under those same paper companies to try to up the odds for any of those workers getting selected, said the spokesman. The perpetrators likely intended to use fraudulent obtained visas to outsource foreign workers to their client companies, the spokesman said. For the registration process earlier this year, Citizenship and Immigration changed the rules to require individually identifying passport or travel document numbers. The number of registrations plunged to about 480,000. Agency believes represents largely legitimate applicants and strong demand for the visa. The data indicates that there were far fewer attempts to gain an unfair advantage than in years prior, the agency said in a news release. Clearly, the measures USCIS took to curb the fraudulent act from the H1B lotteries from years prior was successful. For the number of singular individual registrations is what I found most surprising in the data that USCIS released back on April 28th. I anticipate that with increasing the registration fee to $215 per individual for fiscal year 2026 will be when we see an even more drastic decrease in registrations that will occur. Admittedly, I expected the number this year to be much lower, estimating it to be somewhere around 325,000. But once the 2,000% increase in price is put in place, I imagine we will see registration numbers back somewhere around 275,000. On May 14th, 2024, in an alert on USCIS.gov titled Pending Applications for Employment-Based Preference Categories as of February 22nd, 2024. Quote, inventory report intended information about the number of pending Form I-485s in the employment-based preference categories. The report provides our estimates of how many Form I-145 we have in our inventory for each employment-based category by selected country of chargeability and by the month and year of the estimated priority date. A non-citizen with pending adjustment of status application can use the report to estimate how many Form I-485s we have in our inventory with earlier priority dates for their employment-based preference category and country of chargeability. Wait times for employment-based immigrant visa depend on numerous factors, including but not limited to supply of visa and demand of visa for a particular preference category, priority date, the country to which a visa will be charged, and statutory limitations. Note that this report does not contain information about DOS inventory, nor does it have any information about non-citizens with pending or approved immigrant visa petitions who have not yet applied for adjustment of status. So this is the first time I can recall USCIS has provided an inventory report for adjustment of status data. Several categories stand out to me, starting first with Rest of World EB1 and EB2, where the backlogs go back to 2022 and 2023. There's clearly potential for future advancement, but most likely we won't see that again until the beginning of next fiscal year. For India EB1, EB2, and EB3, it paints some pretty concerning pictures, ones which we've been previously aware of, but seeing it put into context of the thousands per month that hang on to the slightest glimmer of hope for forward movement each month. India EB2 and EB3 with dates going back to 2012, 13, and 14 paints a picture of very minimal forward movement for the foreseeable future. Per the June 2024 Visa Bulletin, retrogression for all categories in EB2 and EB3 is highly likely. Based on the data shared here in this inventory report, it's easy to see why that's going to be the case. Along with India EB1, which most likely won't advance again until October's 2024 Visa Bulletin. Further proof of the importance of eliminating country caps on country of birth for employment-based green cards and increasing the number of employment-based green cards that are made available each fiscal year. For the full post on the H1B Guy news for the week ending May 17th, 2024, please check out the H1BGuy.com. And a reminder that today's post was brought to you by Syndesis, the ideal plan B for high-skilled immigrants currently located in the U.S. whose status may be uncertain, by PERM-Ads.com, the industry leader in providing a seamless experience for employers and immigration attorneys navigating the complex PERM recruitment ad phase of the labor certification process, and by Mob Squad. Are you a technology professional facing U.S. work visa-related challenges? Don't leave your fate up to chance. Our partner Mob Squad has a solution. Join the squad. Just wanted to ask you again to please like this video, subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube, and click the bell for notifications so that you're notified anytime we post new content here to this channel. If you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I really appreciate your support. The H1B Guy, your global source for all things H1B.